All right, at 9 o'clock, call the meeting to order. The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We have some housekeeping here. Before Road and Bridge gets here, we got a postcard from Glory Days. We appreciate your support for Glory Days 2026. 214 cars and 57 vendors signed up. The feedback has been great. Thank you, Holton Jackson County Chamber of Commerce. Did everybody receive the letter that we got from Jeff Elder? If not, I'll pass that to you all. Got it? Okay. Basically just asking for support for the third position, which is going to be kind of tough to do. Third position, what? For assistant attorney. Oh, okay. We're going to be looking for another one anyway because I have here Amy's resignation, so she's going to peak, I believe. Yeah. So we have here too some payroll changes. And I'm going to guess that all of these are in the budget.
Yes.
Okay. They're all for the attorney's office. Some of them are the folks that she was telling us about that are getting out of law school. On the IP Pathways virtual server, the payroll virtual server for $8,070, is that a one-time charge for setting it up? And then the $407 a month for $4,884 a year? Okay. So then for the first payment, that would be $84.77. So what we have here is a purchase order for the payroll virtual server. And as I stated, there's a one-time charge for setting it up for $8,070, and then the monthly fee will be $407. Okay. So I entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the purchase order to IP Pathways for the payroll virtual server. One-time charge of $8,070 and a monthly payment of $4,007 for a recurring fee. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We also have before us a letter from FEMA. As you know, they have been changing the floodplain maps, which is a standard practice that they do. This affects our flood rate, flood insurance rate, and they got a flood rate insurance study. So I will pass that down. This is nothing more than information and for the public to review. So I assume it will be in the clerk's office if any of the public wants to review the map. Would that be correct, Eric? Okay.
Is that something that will be available to Steve?
Yeah.
Get a copy to him?
Yeah,
or-
that might be a better thing, have it down the zoning office to, so it'll be available in the zoning office to review.
Whenever somebody comes in, just we can have that go over to him.
And I'll say that the meeting at Farm Bureau, the board meeting, the information that he gave us to present on the difference between A1 and A2 was very well received.
Mm-hmm.
I
Agree.
think it was I told him on the way in, I said, thank you for presenting that to us because it was a great help. So, answered a few more questions about the A1, A2, but it was all good. What's that?
You answered those questions?
Well, Steve had given us a packet to showing the difference between A1, A2 that we presented out at Farm Bureau board meeting. And
So it's being about the feedlot now.
that was pretty much, that was what the main question was, yes. But it kind of morphed into other areas of that also. So it was very well received. I think we answered their questions. There was a couple questions that we couldn't answer that I'll talk to Kate on and see what she has to say, and then get that back to Donna, and she can hear from the people who were harassing that. So. Housekeeping stuff. Did you all get a copy of the Kansas?
I didn't print.
Did this? Okay.
I emailed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that? Okay.
Saw what?
The Kansas
So they emailed.
mental health, they're coming out to present today. Or Ellie.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. You want that?
Yeah, probably.
Looks like Kate has a copy of this too.
She has a copy of it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
According to that room.
Okay. Oh, information purposes only. I had a call from Bryson,
Bain,
Maine, about the truck that went out to ice. Apparently they started having trouble with it again, and they took it back out there, and they had driven it so long with the DEF system plugged up that it shot the turbo. So, he said it was gonna be like $5,000 to replace the turbo. And I told him, you can go ahead and do it because we cannot find a $90,000 truck for that, you know, because that's what a new truck's gonna cost.
90,000?
$90,000 for a new truck, yes. Have you looked at the price of new trucks lately? Yeah, no, I'm saying that's. So
that
it
truck-
made more sense to get that fixed and be able to drive it than have to look for a new truck when the engine shell was on that, because that was not drivable the way it was.
Okay. And why was he calling you?
To inform me, because they were calling, ICE had called him to talk to him about what was going on.
And he got it approved through Joe?
Yeah, I believe he did. Joe was sitting there, I think.
Oh.
Correct? With Bryson?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Yeah.
talked to me about it. I wasn't there currently when he called you, but he
Okay.
told me about it.
So he was just trying to get information on because one of the reasons is because we both feel, Bryson and myself, and I'm sure you, feel that now that we know what's going on with those Dodge trucks, what we have probably ought to do is down the line, later in this year, get one deleted. We got two of them exactly like that. Go ahead and get the one deleted, and then later on in the year, get the other one deleted so that we don't run into a $10,000 problem like we paid out on that truck.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean,
Whose truck was that?
Are we talking about the
the one that was
down?
at Ellis Brothers and went to ICE.
It was,
It's a 3/4 ton.
it usually works with the bridge screw, but it's been, you know, since I've been here, it's been having issues, but it's shared by everyone.
Okay. How many miles did the truck have on?
A little over 100,000. at 9:15. What you got for us today, Joe?
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
We sent up the insurance information to K-Camp for last week's incident. And we haven't heard back from them. I do want to later today or tomorrow call them and verbally talk to them about it. But the information was sent out. So last week we got hit very hard again.
Yeah.
In Netawaka especially. We there was lots of washouts. I showed about the paperwork with all the pictures and stuff. I mean, you guys.
How W Road held up?
The project part held up, but you know, other parts of W was not. It's
Yeah.
fortunate. So we had several guys that stayed late on Friday and also came in Saturday. And they worked about 5 to 6 hours of overtime.
Okay.
Well, not overtime, but they required comp time. They're gonna be working on this for at least all week. You know, if it stays dry, we're gonna try and recover a lot. There's a lot in the ditch, but it's too wet right now to recover. We can recover some of it, and it's supposed to rain more.
Yeah.
But we're gonna recover what we can. The governor declared it a disaster, but so far we're gonna submit stuff to FEMA, but we don't know if we're less off on it or not. But we're gonna try to. Well, we had to, you know, put some money on this. There's a lot of roads that got a lot of damage. So Hermesign, they've reached out to us with a quote and some references, and I don't know if I did, I can forward them to you. He wanted to try something, and I would like to go look at their projects this year. I talked to someone who's used them for a long time before I let us off on it, but I wanted to present to you anyways. He asked for $30,000 for 3 miles, and that's the material cost, not for their material, not all the stuff that we put into it. But it's supposed to last 5 to 10 years, depending on how much traffic it gets and how heavy the traffic is. So we'd have to make smart choices with where we put it at. I would envision like a higher traffic road that doesn't get a lot of heavy traffic. It's a steep price to ask, but if it lasts that long, it would be of value. But, you know, I just want to look into it more.
Yeah, if you forward the information, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
But the product does look promising. Yeah, we'll know more in June and see it in action. I got an email from Brad Hedstrom that J4 and 256 was funded for Circleville. You know that one?
No.
Well, we got it's a bridge. One we submitted to the bridges. Thing.
Oh, I heard that on Kansas, yeah.
Yeah, not the off-project one, but the other. All our off-project ones were denied. That one was approved.
Okay.
Tomorrow I have a meeting with Shawnee County about this bridge. It was something that Scott was working on over by 94th in on area. This was their proposed stuff the first time before they got. They had some issues that couldn't.
I think that was the one where they wanted to pay for all the asphalt work. Or
Yeah, they asked, on that it says 6%. When I talked to the guy on Friday, he said we only do 5%. I don't know if he was wrong or he was just guessing or what, but I'll be with him tomorrow too. But I didn't know, I figured you guys knew more about it than I did.
Well, I know the bill for us was gonna be big.
Yeah, the bill looked like, it didn't make sense to me. It was like 80,000, but surely that's not right. But I knew it was something you guys were working on before, so I brought it up here.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I'm gonna meet him tomorrow too. The W4 project was stalled. Their crane went down. It's back up today, so it's not too wet. They'll be out there today. just had a commission watching shoes last week. We got several done. I don't know this for you, but they were, hopefully they didn't get, plugged again, but
The rain didn't flush them out for
it
us?
didn't help us very much. But we, they're gonna go back to that once things clear up a little bit. Mass Track is back, truck is back up. It took a couple of weeks to get those parts, but as soon as they did, they put it right back together.
Okay. How's the truck that they had the engine door part on? Is that coming along?
They put the hood on it today.
Okay, good.
And then we had 0518 went down. This is the estimate for it. It was the transmission went on it. That's the estimate for it. We haven't, done anything with it yet.
So this bridge project, yeah, I would ask the question in the meeting, on right of way, we split it 50-50, but on others, on utilities, we're paying all of it. But then you go to the construction contingency, we're paying, it appears, that's 6.28%. I'd like more of a definition of why, construction engineering was $63,000, design engineering was $48,000. Are you kidding me? That's, $100,000 for over $100,000 for engineering. I'd just like to have a little better understanding of why.
I had thought that when we had spoken of this before, that we asked the same question about the utilities cost, but I thought that we got that answered, that, it wasn't gonna be that, and they took that off of the line. You might go back to your file.
It mentions that in the paper, that the right of way.
Right, it's on this document, so.
Yeah, I was confused by that too.
Well, you might go back and look at the file, because I thought he had that conversation a year ago or whatever, 6 months ago, and they took that off. They said, "Oh, that's a mistake." So you might look at that and see. Let's take go back and see if you get paper through the
What's the
file.
location of that one? The Shawnee County one?
It's
Northwest side of West Street.
It's on 94th between I and J, and where I and Valencia transfers.
Yeah, it's a percentage of it because more of it is on them than it is on us, but they're still wanting us to pay a portion of it. And how they arrived at 6.28% is, I think, has to do with there's an explanation evaluation below
What was
it. So
the,
no indication. Go ahead.
sorry, what was the other bridge you said, J4 and 2 what?
That was J4 and 256.
256. Thank you.
No indication, Joe, what caused the transmission to go out, or how many?
He was just going down the road and it just went out.
Yeah.
It wasn't in a.
So 15 grand.
That was their projection. That was the at most projected price. Like if everything went south.
Yeah.
But that is a plow truck for the winter. I think that's all the good news I have. Surprised you guys are free today.
I did have a couple of roads I wanted to ask you about W Road. And then I don't believe that you were here when we discussed this the last time we went out and fixed it. I don't know what the fix was, other than dumping some riprap down the side. But on E Road, just south of 16, there is a concrete tube that goes under the road. And on the east side of it last year, it was eaten out onto E Road. And apparently now it's eating out onto both the east and west side of the road. So, and there's concern because of me a semi there coming down from semi, cement truck, whatever, coming down from the feedlot, they can't get over on either side without dropping wheels off. So I'm sure Matt probably remembers that. So, and then on 254 west of the old highway, another flood tube right up on top of the hill. The water was covering completely across the road, so you might have to take a look at that and see what that.
254 where?
Just west of the old highway, just west of Raymond Bell's, that first house that's there.
And what was going on at W? Just to see if it caught.
W, I was just asking if it had held up. Yeah, I was just curious whether or not it held up with the flooding that we had on it and everything, so.
Yeah, it's been sitting for a couple months. We probably will go over it a couple times and let, you know, because it was, he spread out a little bit. But
Yeah.
it's all done pretty good. The curve was slightly narrow. So we might widen that out too. So I think it's held up pretty good otherwise than that.
Perfect. All right. What's consensus on the truck, guys? You want to go ahead and get it fixed? If you're going to have to, if it's a plow truck.
Anything else we can do, go ahead and have it fixed.
Yep. So let's say go ahead and dig out it right now. Is it down there?
It's still at our shop.
Still at the shop? Okay.
We're
Are they going to come get it, or are we going to have to take it down?
I think we can take it to them. We have to unload it anyways, so just load it up, of course, when we it down.
Okay.
But yeah, we should be able to take it to them,
All right.
I believe.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else got anything? All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. What's this?
Right, I'll get this.
Yes, please.
That one
no.
is obsolete. Probably very soon with this one.
I would guess it would be a new one. Let me take a look at this and quick like I'm just curious. I know. I was just sure that we had that already taken care of as far as driveway because we don't. You said that's just ridiculous. Or for utilities, so we're paying the full price for utilities. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, they said about the right of way that we wouldn't even touch it. Just find out what. I don't know what. So, okay.
See, it says here, yeah, write this email. We do not expect any cost for utility relocation. Well, if you don't expect the cost, then take it off.
Yes, sir, go for it.
Both telephone and power within existing right of way will have to move at their expense. So yeah, I would make sure that that's zeroed out. So I thought we got that straightened out a long time ago. So. All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you. What is that?
All right, 9:30. Darlene, you're up.
How are you guys?
Very good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, come on up, buddy.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm fine.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great.
Well, I'm here because of the landfill.
Okay.
We have, right this moment, where we're at right now with the cell that we are putting the CNG in, we have a major problem, which was the contact basin right now, which it probably should have been, it should have been moved a year ago. And now we are in a very, very, very big bind because we're just right there next to it, putting CNG in it. We've already got, when the KDHE was out there doing inspection, we had a little bit of issue that they put on there about because some of the water was already seeping through. And if it continues and we do not move it over, which actually we have it burnt up a little bit more now. But if we do not move it, we could get, quite a bit of fines from KDHE for having it too close and not moving it.
And you're talking about moving the catch basin, correct?
Yeah, that is something that needs to be done right away. And which that contains to within, that would have to, that's why I brought Brian here too, with BMG consultant. That would have to be with him, he'd have to go out there and survey it to make sure about moving it over and how big it is. And then once we get it built, he'd have to come back there and make sure everything is correctly where it's to be at, everything on that part. That's something that needs to be done right now. There's a cost with that too. I'm doing that with BMG, with doing that survey on that part. I'm hoping to have Road and Bridge help with moving it. That's what they've done in the past.
Yeah, well, I think that when we discussed this
Yes.
previously, that was the plan, is the Road and Bridge is gonna build it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then, on the other hand, where we're at right now of doing everything, we're probably about 5 years until that is completely done and where we're gonna go now. We
Yes,
do,
say that again. We're 5 years from what?
of where we're at right now, we're about 5 years until that is completely filled
Full,
in.
okay.
Where the cell right now, where we're at
Mhm,
right now,
mhm,
of where we've,
Got about 5 years of life left there.
yeah, life of it, yes. And we went back and we had a meeting with KDHE and Brian about going back with the same cell that we're in right now, just going back and coming back up 25 feet, 20 feet. And KDHE has approved that we can do that. But that requires to have it all surveyed again and get it all on the map to be updated.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, then we'd have to, build a berm up and stuff like that, where we can, keep the trash from not blowing over and stuff like that. Keep it, and keep it going. With doing that with the cell we're in right now, we're possibly 20 years with that.
Okay.
And doing this, it's going to take a little bit of time to get out there and do everything, and it's going to take time to get the berm built up because we have to have dirt. And right now I don't have that, but we do have a part of it that's a future C&D, that is the virgin part, that we can take dirt from it.
On the other side of the creek?
Yes, yes. And I have brought Brian here you can look at the map, he can explain that a little bit more to you guys. I learned a lot within an hour with him up with KDHE.
Sure.
He's been on this project for 20 years and he knows it.
Okay.
And I learned a lot. Just with what he's, presented to us, and he's here to help to present that part on the part.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna let him take over and
So, kind of just 5-minute history. I don't know how familiar everybody is with the landfill.
Pretty familiar. I was just out there last Friday.
So in 2006 is when we put the current plans together that you guys are currently operating under.
Okay.
Okay. I had just started working at BG when that happened. So I was a little fresh out of school and worked on it with another engineer at the time that did all the stamping. But I actually worked on these plans about my first year. So
Cool.
So in 2006, we put together these set of plans, which was a phased approach, and I think there was 4 phases to it. And you're in phase 3 essentially right now. And it was roughly a 20-year. That's typically what we design for, 20 years. So you're right there. And so then, so the history of landfills in Kansas, you know, people just used to go out and bury stuff and not very well documented, all this kind of stuff. Then they, so it was literally on your permit, you had a permit that said your landfill is, and I don't remember the exact acreage, you know, 80 acres, you know, it's in this quarter here. And that was it. That was all that was documented as a permit. Well, then KDHE wants to know, okay, where is that trash buried at? Where's the envelope in that 80 acres? What's permitted in that 80 acres? Those types of things. So around 2015, they required a plot plan. I think we guys did that for you guys, where we tried to identify the trash, where it was buried out in the past and where it's buried at now, and things like that. Then in 2018, KDHE asked to define the vertical limits of the landfill. And that's what they wanted to permit, because before it was, you know, wide open. It's just this area. So how tall is it? So in 2018, we put together what we could try to find as a maximum limit for what you could be permitted for. And so we defined that in 2018. And now, what we're looking at is, so all this area that you have above your landfill, which may or may not be 100% feasible to go as high as we said, because we wanted to try to maximize it, right? So now all this area is permitted void, a permitted space that you guys have. So you don't have to, that's what she said, it's already approved, is because you guys don't have to go through a permit modification, because that volume, that envelope's already defined. What KDHE wants to see, though, is a set of permit documents that says how you're going to fill that void and how are you going to manage your contact water while you're filling that void. So if you want to go vertically up right now, we need to submit a new set of documents like this that defines how we're going to do it, how we're going to phase it, how's our contact water going to be managed so we're not running into the stream and stuff like that. And right now, I think you guys have a decision, I guess, or to make, or give guidance. We could simply move the contact basin down and enter into that last phase. And then you guys could have another 5-ish years of life left. And then try to figure out what to do next. Or you guys could try to, right now, go back and look at going back up to the top of where we started, do that vertical expansion with a new set of permit documents. And now would be, in my opinion, would be a good time to look at that, because we may need to use that space where the current contact basin is and potentially where the next phase contact basin is going to be to manage that water as we go up. Because if once you fill that up, then you're going to have to try to put a contact basin on top of C&D to manage that waste, if that makes sense. So it's kind of, you want to move forward quick and easy for the next 5 years, or do you want to try to make a plan for the next 20 years?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So you're talking a 5-year plan versus a 20-year plan.
I think that's what we're talking about.
Okay. What would and just rough guesstimate, what would the cost be for the plans, for the permit plans?
So I put a man-hour estimate together. Oh, you have it. Okay. Yeah, I put one together a year ago.
Would you like to?
Yeah, if you can give a clear copy, you show.
And what we've done in the past with landfills, and part of it is because KDHE sometimes has a moving target a little bit. And
Really?
so, for me to give a lump sum fee and say it's going to be X number of dollars, it's probably gonna be a high number. And because I don't know if KDHE is gonna come back and say, we need this, this, and this. So I think to be fair, we've always just charged our hourly rates. And I put together a budget, which, again, this was a year ago, but I feel like this should be good enough unless there's some real major differences from what KDHE wants to see. But after that meeting we had, I feel like we have a really good consensus of what they're gonna need from us. So I had basically 3 different parts broken out. I had a new survey. We haven't surveyed this for a while. I think it'd be good to go back and get it resurveyed. And since this time, our number on this, I had about $5,000 for going back and retopoing where we're at with all the trash and all that. This number actually should be able to come down a little bit. We recently got a new drone, and so less man hours, and especially walking over existing trash.
Right.
So we might be able to cut that down a little bit. Probably not a whole lot. It still takes time to go out there and fly.
A question, does your drone use software that determines how many cubic yards of trash potentially could be put into that landfill over that period of time?
I mean,
I know there was talk of software out there that did that.
yeah, so, I mean, yes and no, I guess. The drone has software that will basically take LiDAR and give us a surface of what is currently right there now.
Okay.
And then we will compare that to the surface that we design to go up to, and then we have software that calculates the difference.
That.
So
Okay.
it's not technically tied to the drone. The drone gives us information to be assured.
Okay.
And then I had time in there then I had another part for the permit drawings. And the permit drawings, that part B, is what would take to do a vertical expansion that we talked about. And I had that about $24,000. And that's just our engineering time and our CAD time to put these drawings together. Probably had meetings with KDHE to review them and things like that. If it's less than that, then we're only going to charge for the time that we spend.
Okay.
And then the final one is for construction quality assurance. That's what we talked about where if we have to build something different, berms, expand the contact basin, something like that, we would need to go out there and stake for your road and bridge department so they know where to build it. So we would have our surveyors go out there and put grade stakes. And then after it's all built, we'd have to go out there and resurvey it to verify that it was built to the permit documents. And then I have to write a report and send in some photos and say that we're all good. And then that's when they will accept it. So.
Okay. So, if we, which, you know, I'm of the opinion that I don't want a short-term fix, we need to look at the long-term range. So would you go ahead and construct a new catch basin farther down now so that we can build farther out at the level that we're at? You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could.
I mean, would that be the smart thing to do?
It's all what KDHE will like. It's how I'm going to say that. So technically, the regulations don't limit how big your catch basin can be, but their guidance is to try to make it as small as feasible because they don't want, you know, if you have a 40-acre landfill, they don't want a 10-acre pond back there as your catch basin. If you know, so there's some practical limits. So it's all what we can get approved.
Okay.
Efficiency-wise, operationally-wise, yeah, it makes sense to try to maximize that a little bit, so we don't have to move that thing every 3 years, 5 years. If we could do it, we only have to move it maybe once or twice
Right.
During the next 20 years. That's what we're going to look at, and that's some of that back and forth we might have with KDHE, because we're going to try to, you know, meet your guys' best interest. But KDHE also wants to see that minimized to whatever is practical, because they don't want, you know, all this contact water They want to minimize the amount of contact water, not maximize.
Right.
So there's a balance there that we just have to go through when we get a permit.
Okay. So I have another question too, on where the construction waste basically right now is buried, okay? Do we go back in and scrape the dirt off the top and start from there, or do we start right where we're at?
Probably not. I'm guessing you only have 12 inches of soil on top of that waste. You could scrape a little bit off, but you really don't want to get into digging up old trash.
Yeah, okay,
And that's part of that phasing as well. Whenever you get 12 inches of dirt on top of C and D, you can let that water shed off to the creek.
okay,
You don't have to catch that water. So that 12-inch layer is what they want to see. So if we have this area in our current contact basin, or if we even dig out to the next contact basin, if that's big enough to only cover 2/3 of that area, we're gonna have to phase it. So that we only open this area up. Once that's done, we cover it with 12 inches, then we move berms and things like that. That's why it might be important now to plan, because you have more space for your contact basin right now, where if you move it and keep filling in, you're gonna lose that space.
right, okay. That answers my question.
So the 38,000 will change, would be upfront, get all that done. And that should last through the project and get us into building the catch basin. And
Yes, the 38 is what I projected to be our total fees to get you all the way through construction and approval, and with CQA and everything, not including construction costs.
And I don't have your budget in front of me, so do we have that in capital outlay for the landfill?
Yeah, we have enough and more than capital outlay for that case.
And then on the other side of the creek, we're gonna need dirt out of there. Do you feel like there's enough that we can, or are we gonna have to make arrangements to haul dirt in from somewhere else?
There's some dirt there. I don't have that answer off the top of my head. It's been a few years since I looked at that. But when we did that in 2018, we also set the bottom elevation of what you can dig down to. So there's a requirement to stay so many feet separation between groundwater. And with an open creek right there, we made some assumptions of where groundwater might be. And we set that bottom elevation there. So you really wouldn't want to dig below that bottom elevation. If you plan to use that for a future expansion. Because, I mean, you can definitely dig deeper than that, but if you ever wanted to put C&D back in, you'd have to fill it back in.
Okay. Linda, you got anything? Well, like I say, I would rather plan for the long term rather than the short term myself. The 20 years is better than 5 years and having to revisit this then. So I
agree.
Myself, I would recommend that we go with this plan, 20-year plan, and let's get it done.
And then you're just gonna have to work with Road and Bridge to see how available. Because it's gonna be Matt's crew probably, coming out there to do the work. Time frame wise, do you have any idea when that would start? If you were guessing
So,
the summer, the fall?
it'd probably be more of the fall for us. I mean, the staff that I was gonna have do this, I got them pretty well booked through June and July.
Okay.
And so it might be August before we can really get started on it. And then putting that together and going through permitting, it might roll into September or something like that before we get it to KDHE.
Which, like I said, just touch base with Joe and work with Joe and Matt, kind of get it on their radar. It may be a good winter project or late fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Currently, we do have an on-call agreement with you guys for hourly services related to the landfill.
Okay.
I was planning to just keep using that unless you want something different, Tom.
There's no financing thing or anything like that on this, right? It's just a state permit.
Yeah, it's just going through to get permit drawings.
Yeah, but if you guys don't need one, I don't see the reason.
So, yeah, we'll just
Fine with
build,
that, yeah.
we'll build monthly for the time that we spend. And
Yeah.
we'll track that budget number that you guys approved.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Hey, I appreciate the presentation and, you know, I appreciate the forward thinking on this too, because like I said, I don't like to do things short term. I just make it long term and not be visiting this every 5 years. So thank you.
All right,
You guys.
Yep.
appreciate you guys as well. Appreciate working with you guys.
You bet.
Take a break, man.
What's that?
So take a break down again.
Yeah.
I see Brian all the time.
Do ya?
Foster. No, it's Brian, yeah.
Wait,
Oh, Brian. Yeah. Let me see, I got an email from him, I'm sure. That's usually a trick, right? Yeah, it's B-R-I-A-N. Yep, Foster.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
a copy of that?
Of what?
What's in the capital outlay budgets? Do you have one?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make you a copy. I just found that in some minutes.
No, for It's here's information on that bridge. And it's what we thought. The Shawnee County said, no, we're not gonna pay for anything on the utilities. Thank you for looking at it. You might email a copy of both of those to Joe so that he's got them. Right on time.
Did you get in trouble?
No, not yet.
Okay.
What you got for us?
Oh, I'm early.
We don't have to until 10:30.
10:30.
Well, she said she needed that time.
Well, I can amend the agenda.
I didn't move to amend the agenda.
Move forward, yeah.
So moved.
Yeah, you probably, did you second? Probably move and second to amend the agenda to move Todd to 10 o'clock. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Okay, status of things. Looked at the EMS contract, no issues. Except for, if you recall, we have the standard contractual provisions and attachment. I don't know if it was on the prior one, but I mean, I didn't see a reason not to include that, and ask them to execute that. Maybe they didn't know about it, so I don't know if you want me to.
Yes, go ahead and send that to them and ask them, tell them that's our standard.
Attachment now?
Yeah.
Okay, then we would execute their agreement if they execute ours.
Yep.
Fair is fair. Gotcha. Got some sales tax ballot language to Christie, and hopefully that's okay. So it'll be on, you guys passed that resolution? Forgot. You did, okay.
Which one's that?
The one that imposed the 4.4. under May 13. Okay.
Yeah, we passed that.
Okay, so then that's, I guess, on the August ballot in time, hopefully.
On the
Um,
fourth?
24th, yeah. Did contact the person from Martin Marietta who I mentioned had reached out, and I told them what we're looking for, which is please provide us records if you have anything basically to say, whether or not you granted us that, 500 tons.
On an annual basis.
Yeah, they basically said, we'll look into it. Fair, because they took over, we weren't running it, so I said we'd like to account for that before we extend, but we want to extend the contract.
And according to Joe, last week they started on that 500,000 ton out there, so,
Really?
yes.
So they got free? Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, hopefully he keeps track of that somehow, so he can tell us. So, not sure how they're gonna do that, but for prior years or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For prior year, yes.
Okay.
So, as that's called, if we have Road and Bridge, just keep track of that, it starts program, but, 82 ton was hauled this week of 500 ton.
And they said no charge because of the.
Yeah, hands, no charge until we reach that 500 ton.
Okay, yeah, so they didn't, I don't have any indication from them that they said yes, no, or otherwise, so.
Yeah.
So we got to take it as it comes.
I'll email Joe just to make sure that they're tracking,
Okay.
Track our tickets and stuff, yeah.
somehow they can track it.
Right.
I know it's budget time, so I want to get this up front. Our hourly rates are going to go up. So from 200 to 250 bucks an hour, so I don't know how that, I'm not on the hit list here for departments, so I don't know how to address that too or what, but that's what we're looking at for just everybody, city, water districts, or non-units. So, if you have questions about that or need anything running around, that's
Okay.
cost of doing business kind of, yeah. And then we need an executive session for attorney-client privilege for continuing legal claims against the county. I suppose 20 minutes may be needed with just us.
We will go into executive session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege discussion for a period of 20 minutes, starting at 10:05 and coming until 25 minutes in favor, for the purpose of discussing ongoing legal matters to include our attorney and the commission, obviously.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's probably moving second to go into attorney-client, executive session for attorney-client privileges, claims against the county, ongoing claims against the county for 20 minutes. Board and our counselor, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Anything else for me? I guess I was.
I don't believe so. I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Unless you wanna hang around for fun this afternoon.
Well, I support all the requests.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, guys.
Have a good day.
All right.
See you later.
See you.
Has everybody read the minutes?
I have.
Yeah, entertain a motion to approve with no corrections.
Second.
It probably moved and seconded to approve the minutes of June 1st, 2026 with no corrections. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You know, this bridge down on 94th, I'd asked Scott, in fact, according to the minutes, if there was a cheaper way to do this. I don't know why we couldn't go in there and use one of these prefab designs that came in way cheaper. And not, I mean, it's a minimum maintenance road. According to this,
Yeah.
I mean, they're spending several $100,000 to build a bridge that very few people are ever gonna cross. And if we can achieve the same goal with a prefab, like what we did on one of ours up here,
There, and we put the big tubes down here with the head walls on minimum maintenance road. 3 tubes with the head walls.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's one down here, where was it, 110? Somewhere down around Boykin. Yeah,
It seems like a lot of engineering and, I mean, over $100,000 in engineering
Yeah,
for minimum maintenance road.
yeah. I understand that.
Which township? You didn't say which, does it say on that document?
Well, that's
what
pretty,
township
isn't that
it is?
pretty close to where, the lady was talking, where she was wanting rock, right over there?
I don't know.
I thought it was like 94th and I.
It's not Soldier Township, it's.
That was Rossville Township.
Huh?
That was Rossville Township, I believe.
She was between C and D, I think.
C and D?
Yeah, this is like by J. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, Jay,
I don't know what's his name.
I'd like to reach out to that township board.
My look.
Is it, it doesn't say on that document that Joe brought in, what township it is.
I don't have this in there.
East. Is this Shawnee County?
I think he took it with him.
Is this Shawnee County?
Grove.
Couldn't find anything.
It's Grove Township.
Huh?
It's Grove Township.
Grove?
Yeah.
Grove Township.
That's who maintains it, but the contract is with Shawnee County.
Oh, so they're not their own, the township is not doing it, Shawnee County.
The contract that was presented back, that goes with those minutes that I gave you,
Uh-huh.
is with Shawnee County. And it says Grove Township shall continue to be responsible for the maintenance of the road.
So Shawnee County's doing it and then Grove, okay. All right. Keith, a few questions we had asked us at Farm Bureau. I think I got them right here. I'm sending it to Steve and Kate to give us some answers on that. If you're pouring concrete to set feed bunks on, do you need a building permit? That was correct. The second one was, if you pour a concrete pad for bunks and erect a roof system over built walls, does that qualify for revitalization? That was the second one, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. We'll see if we can get some answers to that. I'll send it to Donna.
What was the second one, say it again?
If you pour a concrete pad for bunks and erect a roof system over it with open walls, does that qualify for revitalization? Uh-huh. So we'll see if we can get them some answers to that.
Terry, do you know, did Joe set up his own email, or is he using the public works one?
He was at J Garden.
Yes, okay, thanks.
That's the one that I use to contact him.
Uh,
That's the one that I use to contact him.
thank you.
Yeah, Steve's office.
report.
Morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great.
He's actually having a pause. 5 seconds to think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got you on the agenda at 10 or 11:30, so we'll get to you here in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
we got 11:30, come on up.
Well, thank you. What are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. I think
Yes.
we've met, Keith, we've met before. Yeah, I don't know that we've met. So, Chris Tyler, I'm the CEO at Kansas Mental Health and Guidance Center. It's nice to meet you. Hopefully you're all settled. I sent you guys a slew of stuff. So, my apologies. I was thinking it's been way too long since I've come back with you, and I printed copies for anybody who likes paper. I think the first thing was our annual report. Do you guys want a copy of that?
Sure. Thanks.
Because that's what you emailed.
Yeah, I sent a whole bunch of attachments in the email. I printed as well. There is not a lot that we probably need to highlight in here, but I wanted to share it with you. This is the first time we have done an annual report as an organization.
Okay.
So as you look through it, if there's things that you would love to know about Kansas that aren't in here, please let me know. A couple of the things that I would highlight. Mission and vision, we actually just updated this last week officially, so this one is already outdated, but as our organization has grown, we needed to update that. So in 2025, so this is looking at calendar year 25, we served 1,235 clients. We call those CCDHC clients because there are some additional individuals we serve just providing like stakeholder assessment or screening, and we don't count those in our ongoing clients. So I provided information kind of on our payer mix of who's paying for the services that we're delivering, age group so that you can see that. I would just point out on here that the way that those are categorized is in alignment with how the federal government requires us to categorize these. But 0 to 11, that is the group that we saw the greatest growth in last year. We don't obviously see 0-year-olds, infants, so I'd say it's really like 3 to 4, 11 that we're seeing an increase. I had a state legislator ask me why that was. I don't have an answer, but I'd love to say is I hope that people may be identifying concerns earlier and seeking treatment, which would be a plus because then we can intervene at a younger age and build good skills throughout life. But it also may be probably that life is increasingly stressful and the challenges everybody is navigating are just that much harder. So probably a combination of the two. Gender, I just included that there, informational, and then our client distribution by county. So one of the things that I will point out has changed on this graph is Kansas has always been a CMHC or Community Mental Health Center. We're now a CCHC, so Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic. One of the changes with that is that we used to just serve Brown, Donovan, Jackson, and Emona County residents. So anybody that's from outside of those areas, we refer them to whoever their mental health center was. CCBHC model of care says whoever walks in your doors, you take care of them. So we're seeing that other category grow as we're drawing clients in, maybe from like neighboring counties where we've not typically served them. So it did include information on the number of crisis services that we provided, but again, this is 24/7, 365. If somebody calls Kansas, we respond wherever they are, and they define the crises. So if anybody feels that they're having a mental health substance use crisis, they can call us and we'll come to them. There's information from our client satisfaction surveys. But in particular, I did want, I feel like it's important that as commissioners, you guys kind of see where is our revenue coming from. Obviously, the biggest driver of that is from the services that we're providing and billing for. The second category is grants. We have been very strategic over the last 3 to 4 years in applying for grants that can help support us building our organization. And so we've seen that grant dollar increase and that revenue increase in grants. Those are always challenging because they come and they go. So it's not income that we can count on, but we're thankful for it, but we have it. Expense distribution, I think employees are the #1 expense, so obviously paying a fair and competitive wage and then health benefits and all of those things. That is by far our greatest expense. And then I did include kind of where our employees reside so that you guys can see that. Obviously, they're contributing to and giving back to the community where they live and where they work. So it's important that you guys have that information. I think those are the biggest things I would highlight within that. Do you have any questions on that?
Would you kind of elaborate? I told the commission last week, I believe it was, about our collaboration between Kansas and Northeast Kansas.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely, and I included the news release in your packet, what I sent, so hopefully you guys got that. I will say we are honored to have been selected. There was a high number of applicants, so I think it was 80 applicants and only 22 that were selected. And I think probably our selection is really based on the fact that it aligns really strongly with what the state is asking for. So recognizing that especially in our rural areas, small healthcare entities are going to struggle to survive. And the path to survival is really through partnerships. So through Northeast Kansas Multi-County Health Department, I think it's a really great opportunity. They've had lots of changes in the last year to 2 years, operational changes with their services, and Kansas has grown significantly in 3 years. So we've almost doubled in size as an organization. We are kind of at an odd spot as an organization. We have about 80, 85 full-time employees, where having one HR professional, for instance, isn't quite enough. Heaven forbid they ever wanted to take vacation, payroll, essential things wouldn't continue. So we have 2, and yet we're probably not large enough to support 2 in that role. So we have some expertise that we can share with the health department, who is a much smaller organization, 10 to 15 employees. You can't afford having an actual human resources expert and marketing expert. So the goal is really that we're sharing our resources so that both entities can be successful financially. I think it is really aligns with what that grant initiative asked for, which was let's bring partners together and let's talk about how together we can be more successful in the future than we are trying to operate solo.
perfect. Thank you.
Very exciting. Lots of hard work now.
Yeah.
Exciting when you get the announcement and you realize all the things to come.
Starting next week at board meeting.
Yep. Questions about that? The other things, I'm going to come sit before you and tell you guys that I kind of messed up in my first year as CEO and I didn't realize it. So I had, I think, 1 to 2 weeks of training and then they let me loose, and I still find things occasionally where I'm like, I was supposed to do that and I didn't. So we are supposed to have a contract every year between Kansas and the county, and I failed to get one in 2025, and we're now halfway through 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I came across these recently and realized that was probably something I was supposed to do. So I sent a draft contract to you that fully acknowledges that I didn't get one in 25, so this would be 25 and 26. But it really just speaks to the funds that you guys commit to Kansas to support mental health services for uninsured or underinsured individuals in Jackson County. And then the one change that I made to this is it had previously spoken to our law enforcement services. You guys have great sheriff here who runs his jail very, very well, very independent. And so we do some crisis screenings and some minimal services for them, but they really have contracted most of those services out. So we're really working with our local jails to build a contract directly with them because it looks different in each of the counties that we serve, what we provide for the jail. I think that's really the only change is it keeps just general language that we're here to serve and support law enforcement and jails, but there's not anything really specific in there because that really should be a standalone contract.
Okay.
And just leave that with the clerk and we'll get that to county counselor and have him look it over and
Perfect. And if he has any questions, please tell him to reach out to me. Obviously, I'm not an attorney, so I use what we have and just kind of update it.
Yep, understand.
And then the last thing I shared was our budget proposal for 2027. So I felt like it's important that you guys have information on how your dollars are being used and can be certain that they're being used well. So I highlighted again that during 2025, we delivered almost 1,200 services to Jackson County residents. And that, so I kind of broke it down by uninsured versus underinsured residents, what we build for those services versus what we collect. There's obviously a significant difference. Anybody can walk into Kansas any day of the week to receive services regardless of their ability to pay. And so we do see what we collect from the individuals we serve is generally very low, and financial stressors are just getting harder by the day.
Right.
They're certainly not getting easier for anybody at this point, so I would not expect that to increase. So I wanted to be sure though that you guys had kind of the data that shows how we're using your funds and that directly does help support us being able to provide those services.
Okay.
And then I did provide just some general, like Jackson County specific data within there, so that you can see how many individuals we're serving that reside in Jackson County. What questions do you guys have about any of those areas or about Kansas as a whole?
Thank
I don't believe I have any questions.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any questions. I know it's a good service. It's just, it's gonna be a tough budget year. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I kept my request flat. I think I've heard that with every county that we serve, and so I have shared, and I will share this always, that when I come in and ask for an increase, I want you guys to know it's because I need an increase.
Right.
But we do try to look, again, grants, other ways that we can sustain our operations without asking for more dollars from our counties.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I won't walk in next year and say I really need more money based on what is happening at that point. But as long as we're able to access some of those other funding sources, that's always my goal. I think every county is really facing some challenges right now.
Yeah. It is difficult.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like I said, nothing's increased. Nothing has gone down in cost.
No.
And it's not going to, unfortunately.
Okay. Like I say, we'll get this to the, getting in budget time right now, and we'll get the contract to the counselor and let him take a look at it to see what's going on and go from there.
That's good. I will just say, if you guys ever have questions, concerns, thoughts, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to share. Always happy to share whatever it is that you guys need. You deserve to be informed and knowledgeable about what we're doing, what you're investing in, how it's benefiting your community. So,
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
This is for your afternoon. That's the
Oh,
salary
thanks.
and the values on top.
All right.
postage is supposed to go to.
I don't know what amount she thinks it's supposed to go up to, but
Is that $50,000? I mean, I looked it up and I think it's only supposed to
For
go
what?
82 cents postage.
Oh, yeah, postage is going up, like
Yeah.
that.
But
But I don't think the legislature put in to pay for R&R mailings. I don't believe, did it?
they will this year, but not next year, right? For 27, no, they did.
And post office is raising it to, what is it?
82 cents.
I remember when we sent a letter for nickels.
I mean, $50,000 in postage sounds like a lot. That's 16,000.
And that top was gonna change.
I don't know what we've been using. But before, when they have their jury trials, it's a
Yeah.
lot of postage.
I wonder if there's any kind of cheaper, like permit fee that you can get,
For a bulk fee.
yeah.
I don't know if that would count for,
If that works for government or not.
I don't know, wouldn't hurt to ask. Like I said, the top number's gonna change too.
The what?
The top line item's gonna change.
Oh, yeah.
close to $1 by late 2027.
Good Lord. All right.
Approach 96 to 98 cents regulated in 2027, depending on inflation and regulatory approval. Postage could go up to $1 for forever.
Yeah, postage can be up to $1 by
By the end of the year.
2027.
27.
Nobody has money.
Yeah, because they're the only government agency that has to fully fund their retirement fund every year.
What's that?
The post office is the only government agency that is required by law to fully fund their pension every year. Explain that to me.
I can't.
I've never understood that.
I guess we're anticipating $1.
What's that?
We must be anticipating $1.
Evidently.
And probably have some additional election mailings.
Let's hope it's going to time.
I don't mail very much, so I wasn't even sure how much my state was.
Well, should we go ahead and break for lunch?
We'll adjourn this meeting.
That's just a work session in the last this afternoon, so I'd entertain a
Adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same